Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Hello friends, welcome to a new episode of Drishti IAS editorial analysis. In this editorial analysis, we do three things. First of all, we link the editorial to the UPSC syllabus. Secondly, we try to understand the key points of the editorial. And thirdly, if any key concepts have come in the editorial and are important from exam point of view, we also discuss that. So let us begin today's editorial analysis. We have taken today's editorial from the Hindu and it has come on 15th of June. The title of the editorial is No Longer Special and it talks about the India-Nepal relations which have seen a major downturn in recent weeks. And it says that India and Nepal need to move quickly to reverse the recent setback to ties. Now let us look at its linkage with the syllabus. So we find that it links directly with GS paper 2 where we have international relations as one of the important topics. And under this, because Nepal is India's neighbor, it comes under India and its neighborhood relations. So after establishing this linkage with the syllabus, now let us look at the key points of the editorial. So before moving on to the key points of the editorial, let us look at the issue on a map. So on 13th of June, that is Saturday, Nepal's parliament has unanimously approved a new map which shows places such as Limpiadhura, Kalapani and Lipu Lake, which are in Uttarakhand's Pithoragarh district as part of Nepal's territory. So here we can see the new map which has been issued by Nepal and it shows the places like Limpiadhura, Lipu Lake and Kalapani within the territory of Nepal, whereas in the original version it has been part of India's Pithoragarh district of Uttarakhand. So in this map we can more clearly see the location of Lipu Lake Pass which is located here, and recently India has prepared a better road from Dharchula to Lipu Lake, and after this road was inaugurated by the Defence Minister of India, Nepal protested against it. And since then, the crisis has rapidly escalated between the two neighbors. In this inset map, we can more clearly see where the problem is. So Nepal claims this territory, which is marked in green, as per the Treaty of Sugauli, which was signed in 1816 between British India and Nepal. Under that treaty, the western border of Nepal was fixed as Kali River, and everything depends on this river. So Nepal's claim is that Kali River originates from Limpiadhura, whereas India says that this Kali River originates from Lipu Lake. And therein lies the difference in perception between India and Nepal, though this area has been under India's possession and even Nepal has been following the maps which have been issued by India, which shows it as India's territory. The recent controversy broke when India abolished Article 370 and it made Jammu and Kashmir into two separate union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and of Ladakh. And after that, the new political maps of India were issued, which showed this as part of India's territory, which has been India's position. But Nepal protested against the inclusion of this territory, saying that this territory is under dispute and it needs to be resolved between India and Nepal. And the recent inauguration of the border road, which connects Dharchula to Lipu Lake, it further escalated the matter, and now Nepal has passed a constitutional amendment which shows this region as part of its territory, which has put the special relationship between India and Nepal under great strain. So now let us look at some of the key points of the editorial. Now the editorial says that India-Nepal relations, they have always been special because not only are the two countries close neighbors, they also share open borders, which allows the citizens of India and citizens of Nepal to move across the border without needing any passport or visa. And there has been deep-rooted people-to-people contact of kinship and culture, which is also known as Roti Beti Ka Rishta. And such terms can be used by you in the mains answer writing. So there has been close familial ties between the people of Nepal and people of India. And this is why the relationship between the two countries has always been a very special relationship. But the recent developments has caused a setback to the ties between the two countries. And now the Nepal government's decision to move a constitutional amendment and ratify the changes in its map that include these three places, Lipulekh, Kalapani and Limpiadhura, which are under India's possession as Nepal's territory. This has escalated the matter further and it has put the special relationship under great strain. And this marks a new as well as a new low phase in the ties between India and Nepal. Though the editorial says that the border issue between the two countries is old, but it got revived after India published the new political maps in 2019 to reflect the changes after reorganization of J&K. And here the interesting part is that the Indian maps which showed this Kalapani, Lipulekh and Limpiadhura as part of India's territory has also been used by Nepal for a long time. But now Nepal has objected to the depiction of disputed territory in the Indian map. And in the year 2000 as well as in the year 2014, India and Nepal, they had agreed to hold talks on Kalapani and Susta, which are the two border issues between India and Nepal. And here we should know where is the location of Susta. So Susta is just to the north of Gorakhpur and it is on the banks of river Gandak. And the problem arises because the river Gandak keeps changing its course. We'll see about it in the key concept section. The editorial says the new crisis erupted when India inaugurated a surface road over the territory. And this road connects Dharchula, which we saw in the map, to Lipulekh. And this road has both military significance as well as significance in the religious sense because it makes the journey of the pilgrims to Kailash Mansarovar that much easier. But when this road was inaugurated, Nepal protested and the protests were dismissed by the Indian Army Chief as being held on the behest of China, which did not go well with the Nepalese political establishment. And this was a comment best avoided by the Indian establishment. But this further fueled the crisis and there was an absence of diplomatic efforts from both sides to save the situation from reaching this stage. And while India said that it was willing to discuss matters at a mutually convenient date, but Ministry of External Affairs also suggested that the Kalapani dispute could be discussed after the COVID-19 pandemic stabilizes or the situation due to COVID-19 stabilizes. But Nepal on its part said that the Indian government, especially Ministry of External Affairs, rejected the two dates suggested by the Nepalese Foreign Ministry and the request by Nepalese ambassador to meet the Indian Foreign Secretary was routinely denied. And Nepal also claims that all this while India continued to have bilateral as well as multilateral meets through video conferencing with other countries. So Nepal took all of this as a slight and it unilaterally passed the constitutional amendment which has made the situation worse. So the claims and counterclaims by both the sides clearly shows the lack of diplomatic initiative in resolving the crisis. And another factor which the editorial highlights is the timing of the crisis when India and China are involved in a border standoff. So somewhere it also points to China's backing to Prime Minister Oli to indulge in such anti-India actions. And here we should note that the Communist Party is in power in Nepal and this Communist Party has close ties with the Chinese Communist Party. So that is also a factor which goes against Indian interests. And what should be of more concern to India, the editorial says, is the speed with which the constitutional amendment has been passed by the Nepal parliament and the unanimous support for it in the parliament. Because for a long time, India has had very good relations with Nepal and also a constituency in Nepal which was very pro-India. But now it seems that the anti-India sentiment is on the rise and this is a cause for concern for India. The editorial further says that it is important for both the nations to resolve their differences through dialogue and also to prevent more serious consequences and damage to the relations which already have been damaged a great deal. And there are some sore points which strike a chord in Nepal. The 2015 land blockade is blamed by a large section of the Nepalese population on India, though the Indian government denied any hand in it, but the Nepalese political establishment continues to think that there was Indian hand behind this land blockade. The anti-India feeling is also because Nepal feels that it is living under the shadow of the bigger neighbor, which is India. And also there is some resentment over the unequal agreements, especially the 1950 Treaty of Peace and Friendship, which we'll see in the key concept section between India and Nepal. So the editorial says that steps needs to be taken by both India and Nepal to prevent more serious consequences and damage to the relations, because this can become a security challenge for India as well as for Nepal. And the editorial points out that both India and Nepal moved very quickly to resolve this issue of a killing of a Indian citizen by the Nepalese police in a shooting. So the editorial feels that similar resolve and quickness is needed to resolve the issues and restore the special relationship between India and Nepal, which has benefited both the countries and which can benefit both the countries in the long term. And for this to happen, both India and Nepal must de-escalate, and the dispute between the two countries is very much solvable, but it requires a calm environment, and that needs to be created first. So this was all in the key points of the editorial. Now let us look at some key concepts. So let us look at the border dispute at Susta. So in this map, we can see that Susta is located here, which is to the north of Gorakhpur district of UP. And Susta is located on the bank of Gandak river called Narayani river in Nepal. This is important from prelims point of view. And the change of course by the Gandak river is the main reason for dispute in the Susta area between India and Nepal. The other dispute between India and Nepal is over Kalapani. Now it is a valley that is administered by India as part of Pithoragarh district of Uttarakhand, and it is situated on the Kailash Mansarovar route. The latest political map of India retreated the Indian claims on the region, but Nepal says that it belongs to its westernmost part as per the Treaty of Sugauli. And the Kali river in the Kalapani region demarcates the border between India and Nepal, and the Treaty of Sugauli signed by the Kingdom of Nepal and the British India after the Anglo-Nepalese War in 1860 located Kali river as Nepal's western boundary with India. This is important. And the discrepancy in locating the source of the river has led to the boundary dispute between India and Nepal, with each country producing maps supporting their own claims. So here the point to be noted is that Nepal claims that the river Kali originates from Limpiadhura, whereas Indian claim is that it originates from Lipu Lake. And therein lies the dispute between the two countries. Now let us look at India-Nepal Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1950. The special relations between the two nations date back to this treaty of 1950, and it is a bilateral treaty establishing a close strategic relationship and was signed at Kathmandu. The treaty allows free movement of people and goods between the two nations and a close relationship and collaboration on matters of defense and foreign policy. And now, after so many years, some people in Nepal feel that this goes against the interest of Nepal as a sovereign country, and that's why they want that this treaty needs to be revised. And the Indian government is also ready for it, but Nepal government has not submitted any concrete proposal for what are the changes that it wants in this treaty. And the treaty talks about reciprocal treatment of Indian and Nepali citizens, establishes national treatment for both Indian and Nepalese businesses, and gives Nepal access to weaponry from India. And the treaty has enabled Nepal to overcome the disadvantages of being a landlocked country. And both India and Nepal share very close and unique relationship. In fact, one thing to note here is that the Indian Army Chief and the Nepalese Army Chief, they are considered as honorary generals of each other's army. So this is the kind of special relationship that both countries share, and they should work together to resolve their differences through dialogue. Now let us look at the kind of questions that can be asked in PTN mains. So in prelims, one can be asked location based questions. So one should be clear about the geographical location of Kalapani, Limpiadhura and Lipu Lake. Also, this Treaty of Sugauli is also important, that you should know which year it was signed, between which two parties, and also this Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1950. This is also in news and it can also be asked. A question can be asked also on the open border between India and Nepal, and we should also know here that there is a free movement regime between India and Myanmar, but it is applicable only up till 16 km on each side of the border. So this is different from this open border, but this is also important to know. And it means a question can be on the special relationship between India and Nepal, and what will be the impact on it of Nepal's constitutional amendment. So this is a very important topic for this year's GS mains, and we should be clear on how it will impact India-Nepal relationship. One should also know about the China factor or the China card, which is played by the Nepalese government. So what is the role of China in India-Nepal relations? So this is also an important area of questioning. And finally, a question can be asked on the challenges in India-Nepal relations and how India and Nepal should move forward to maintain a robust relationship, which is important for both the countries. So this was all in today's editorial analysis. We'll see you next time with another editorial. Thank you.